first one is that the governor's created a task force on education seeking input from various constituent groups in New York State and the Board of Education. The Board of Education has worked with administration, and it's been a great collaborative effort to generate a position statement that we will be sharing with the governor's task force. And I'd like to read it to all. We are the Half Hollow Hills Central School District. Our community is made up of students residing in the towns of Huntington and Babylon in Suffolk County. We believe our voice is an important one for the task force to consider. We thank you for this opportunity to let us use our voice. We are elected officials and appointed leaders. We are not beholden to any corporate interest. Our interests are simple: to provide the children in our community with the best education possible and to consistently challenge them to reach their potential. Unfortunately, the current regulations have placed unnecessary obstacles in our path. Our schools are consistently ranked amongst the top in New York State and throughout the entire country. Our students reach great academic heights and routinely receive awards and recognition from our local legislators for their civic, artistic, and athletic accomplishments. Most recently, 9 of our high school student researchers were named semi-finalists in the Siemens competition in math, science, and technology. This was the most of any Long Island high school. This is just one example of our long and rich history of remarkable academic achievements, including receiving the Blue Ribbon Award from the U.S. Department of Education. We proudly possess a strong parent base that is actively involved in enriching our student programs. We're a diverse community. Our administrators were recently selected to present at the New York State School Board Association's annual convention to explain our successful work to tackle the achievement gap. We believe that the current APPR requirements need to be eliminated. Half Hollow Hills has a long-standing teacher evaluation system aligned to the Danielson Framework for Teaching. The system was collaboratively implemented with our teaching and administrative staff. These standards of professional practice communicate the high expectations that we expect in our district. Local control over professional performance reviews provides a more accurate determination on the performance of our teachers and principals. An outside observer conducting a performance observation provides a snapshot of what occurs in a classroom at a given moment in time, without the context that only one of our principals or other district administrators can provide. An outside observer is simply lacking the environmental framework to provide an effective assessment of our teachers and principals that aligns to the high requirements of our district. We also believe that the current system's use of test scores to evaluate a teacher's performance is unreliable. It should be acknowledged that there are many factors which affect how a student performs. Many of these factors are outside the control of the teacher and or principal. To base a teacher's annual evaluation and possibly his or her career on an evaluation system which places such significance on single assessments cannot possibly provide an accurate description of the teacher's ability. Due to these factors, we believe that there is an over-reliance on state assessments and their use in the teacher-principal evaluations within Education Law Section 3012-D. In Half Hollow Hills, we steadfastly believe that a teacher and principal can be held to the highest level of professional performance without a link to student assessments. Additionally, we do not believe there should be any coupling of state aid with a school district's annual professional performance review for teachers and principals. We recognize the requirement for grade 3 through 8 assessments comes from the federal government, but we understand the need for assessment and evaluation. Data can have quantitative value and a place in education when properly used. Half Hollow Hills educators have been trained to use assessment data for the purpose of informing instruction. The primary focus of the district and the goal of testing should be to inform instruction for the benefit of all students. We We do not believe that the New York State assessments have this goal at their foundation or serve this purpose. Since the state assessments are directly linked to teacher evaluations, we believe that they have become a hindrance rather than a means to improve instruction for our students. These exams are not fulfilling the purpose of assessment as we in Half Hollow Hills see it. This is the opposite of what we want to see. Additionally, we question the current value of the New York State testing program based on the length of these tests, the relevancy and grade level appropriateness of questions, the secrecy of test questions and content, and lack of timeliness of information provided in the results. We also question their ability to accurately measure the achievement or learning of students who began the year below or above grade level. Finally, we do not believe that the grade-specific Common Core assessments should be administered to all special needs students. Rather, each individual student's IEP should determine appropriate assessment administration, and we want our special education students to have multiple pathways to the diploma. It is our hope that in the future, the assessments are refocused for the purpose of informing instruction and appropriately monitoring student progress. It is only then that many parents will find greater value in their children participating in the assessments. In closing, please do not confuse this letter as somehow resisting change or improvement. Our administrators and teachers have collaboratively developed and implemented this curriculum over many years in an effort to maintain a relevant and meaningful student experience. The implementation of the Common Core state standards adopted by New York State in 2010 presented challenges. However, we're proud of the ongoing work being done by our staff to develop new curriculum that addresses the key shifts outlined in the standards while maintaining our high expectations for a well-rounded student experience. Just as we review our own curriculum on a regular basis, it is our hope that the current initiative of the Commissioner serves to provide a necessary review of the appropriateness of each standard. The Half Hollow Hills School District encourages the Board of Regents, Commissioner Elia, and our elected officials to work with local school boards, superintendents, teachers, parents, and all other concerned stakeholders to develop systems that allow for continued local control while affording the freedom to make local decisions in the best interest of students. Thank you for your consideration in this matter, the administration and Board of Education of the Half Hollow Hills School District. Secondarily, on October 29th, at our board retreat, we set out to create some goals for the year. If anyone would go to the website and go to the board page, you'll be able to see the foundationary items that we have there. There's a really cool graphic that really outlines the areas of focus for the district. And these goals are in support of that. So number one, the Board of Education is committed to open and productive communications and information sharing among board trustees, between the Board of Education and the Superintendent of Schools, and between the Board of Education and the Half Hollow Hills community. Number two, the Board of Education is committed to a continued focus in providing a balanced educational experience for all students. And number three, to develop and articulate to the community a long-range facilities plan that envisions a successful implementation of the district's educational program and buildings that provide a secure, healthy, state-of-the-art environment in a cost-efficient configuration. And then on the new business.